But I can say, in retrospect, the past week that has went on about this Dave Chappelle shit, yo, that shit, I wanted to throw my phone out the fucking window.
It funny like that?
It wasn't necessarily funny.
It wasn't necessarily funny. Like, he had funny parts, but it was more so, it was just like a...
You can watch it and you know what everybody was going to be upset about.
Yeah.
It was, I'll put it like this.
I read about it.
He made a comedy special that was like basically a response to the Sticks and Stones. So it had funny moments, but he just spent the entire comedy special really just like replying to folks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
He had funny parts, but it wasn't like a... I ain't gonna say he didn't take his time to do it either.
Yeah, it wasn't no Pimp Chronicles.
Yeah, basically.
It
wasn't.
It still was good though.
It was good.
Yeah.
But to my point of dog, I was like, yo, these niggas is going nuts in these comments. I wanted to throw my fucking
What were
phone.
they saying?
So I would just say one of the clients that I work for was a part of a Shade Room post. And so in managing that account, God, the comments, like I could only imagine being a celebrity or someone of influence like that. And this is past a week, or tomorrow would be a week already that it's already been like said and done. But like these are new posts that we making, and niggas is still coming back talking about Dave Chappelle, and I'm like, this is a whole new post. Ain't got nothing to do with that.
Ain't got nothing to do with that.
But yeah, it made me realize like just how quickly things go viral and people really find like the source of who said it, and they just attack it, and that's just it. And for me, the most part of it was just like, two things can be true, but also I feel like a lot of the message was it just went over people's heads, and people wait for the reaction to things, and I feel like just looking at it on the outside in, I understand both perspectives. I don't particularly agree with all the extra antics of it, but it was interesting, man. And I was just like, damn, if this is what that feel like off of a viral moment, I would hate to be an influencer and be quote unquote bullied, because that shit is exhausting. Like, fuck. I was ready to delete the app. That's how bad it was. Like, and this ain't even directed towards me. This ain't got shit to do with me. This is shit. I just keep seeing the same shit, and it's like, bruh, can we stop talking about it already?
For the people who don't know, what was he talking about?
It was like a trans joke, but it really wasn't a joke. It was more of like the situation.
It was more like a think piece, I'll say. It was more just like a just him kind of talking about his or I feel like what most people think from the outside in of what that community is like, and then kind of being like, yeah, so I mean I hear what you're saying, but like we still here. Like black people as a whole, we still here. So how is it that as this, as this part, you can move in this way and we still here to the world?
Really,
the LGBT,
like really to sum it up,
community.
Really to sum it up, what Dave Chappelle is saying is like, y'all think I'm transphobic. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with the LGBTQ plus community.
I have
a problem with white people.
Right.
Like that's what he was saying. Like y'all keep missing it. Like I don't have a problem with them. I got a problem with white people, but y'all missing it because y'all only focusing on one part of what I say. And so,
damn.
Oh, okay.
We already know what's going down in
my
that
dog.
vehicle.
My dog.
My nigga pulling
He
up
on
with
the
the
way.
vibes. Man, no,
he on the way
that
to
bitch
it.
in the car.
Nah, she in the car right there. No,
he prepping this.
Yeah, he prepping. That's all prep. Though. He looking in the mirror.
I got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her this right here.
I got it this time. And to the point that I feel like a lot of, in the community, people feel like, well, what about black, gay, trans, lesbian? And it was just like it wasn't a moment for I ain't say he excluded blacks, but I think he was talking about blacks as a whole and not particularly that community. I feel like he was trying to say like this is still their world in particular. Like this is cool that blacks can be this way, but it still wouldn't be moving or a movement and doing anything without white people.
If it was just a white movement.
Yeah.
Just like
so I feel
why,
like
just like why I guess the black movements are not as successful.
Yes.
And the gay movement is successful.
And he exactly the way, just like he talked about the Me Too movement, like it was a movement.
It's white
women
involved in that.
In the same retrospect, like there's still black women, if I'm not mistaken, from what I read, 75,000 black women missing, and nobody talks about that. So it became a thing of us versus them on all levels, and it wasn't just. He wasn't excluding black gays, but it was really just like, I'm including the black gays with this whole thing. But I'm specifically talking about whites in that movement and how it affects this shit. To talk that he is.
Go ahead.
Bow, bow, bow.
I feel like we got to get out of the mindset of us versus them, black versus white, because it's like, man, it gets to a point where we chasing them.
Yeah.
And we basically trying to emulate what they doing and reverse the shit. Like let's just do what we do. You feel me?
I feel like that's true in theory, but I feel like when you get older, you realize that's fucked up. But you can't go through life as a black person and not understand your history. I ain't saying you gotta go off the edge and be, super mad about it, but acknowledge your history and then, move forward and learn from it. What's up? What you about to say? Something nasty, I can tell.
This what I would say.
Huh? Oh.
sometimes.
I ain't realized until you did the 2 finger thing.
Sometimes, man, everybody just got to learn to just shut up. And that and
in terms of Dave Chappelle, he should shut up.
Everybody, because like I'm saying, Dave Chappelle said what he like. This is the thing about Dave Chappelle, right? That this is why I wholeheartedly agree with him. It's my comedy special. You paid tickets to see my comedy special, and even though it's on Netflix, you gotta press play. Mm-hmm. So you're choosing to listen to anything that I gotta say. Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't be mad when you chose to listen to whatever I had to say and get mad at what I said. Like, I'm a comedian at the end of the day. The other side of that is, bro, you beating a dead horse right now. Like, it is what it is, bro. Like, that's an argument. You know, it's not even, I don't even want to say like you can't win, but it's like there's always going to be pushback. So it's just like, bro, we can continue to keep beating a dead horse trying to figure stuff out, or you just leave it alone and let it float up in the air and do what it's going to do. Like, with that whole thing going viral, he glued to it. With like, sometimes, man, you just got to be like, bro, you believe what you want to believe. I believe what I want to believe.
But that's why I feel like he put it out. It was kind of like the last hurrah. Like, look, I said, in case y'all, which he technically did say it. Like, in case y'all were misinformed and you weren't aware. Hold on, let me finish this.
I'm still going to.
Yeah, I'm still on this. Yeah.
There you go.
I would do the irresponsible thing, but
I ain't gonna be disrespectful.
I'm not to either party. I feel like which he literally said it in the beginning and the end of his special. Like, look, I'm gonna address this. This is my last time I'm gonna say this because people feel like X, Y, Z, and I feel like in the special he gave you like 18 different perspectives on like this is how I feel, and I agree with a lot of what he said. Like, some people just don't know, and I feel like, especially with the LGBTQ, they hit you with this like, they give you this like included but exclusive Google me, but you need to do your research, and like they give you that kind of message. So it's like, look, I'm gonna just say how I feel and then depart from the situation. I'm not gonna talk about it no more. I can't make no more jokes because obviously y'all don't fucking get it, and that's just it. I as a human, I respect it. Everything isn't easily accessible and knowledgeable to a person, but I do feel like raising those conversations, like it does make it a a little bit easier to have, or it should be a little easier to have those conversations. But clearly, with them, you just can't. Like it's yay or nay with them niggas.
Hey, bro, conversations with between 3 to 5 people, small groups.
Shit,
Ain't
you
even
and
trying to take it
yourself.
to church, but like
You and God.
small group conversations, bro. Like do that. Like have that conversation there, and then y'all decide how to move forward with that. Because when you haven't trying to cast a wide net, having certain conversations, there's always going to be pushback, and the message is going to get lost in the pushback. So it's like, hey.
But I want to know what kind of conversations they had as a whole to have that kind of movement and impact on people in the world. Because that was more than a 3 to 5 conversation.
I
Them niggas
wouldn't even
had
say
both.
that. I just said it was like they moved in silence, bro, and
That's true.
and
Came
got
from
loud when it
vengeance.
was time to get loud. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it is what it is.